What's up, homies? Welcome back to Agents After Hours. Our podcast is for agents who want to talk about the parts of this industry no one wants to say out loud.
We're Erica,
And Paige.
and we're here to bring you unfiltered, unapologetically honest real estate talk. So pour a drink, take a breath, and let's dive in, baby.
It is officially summertime.
Finally.
Is it officially actually? What is it,
No,
like
till June
June 21st? Yeah, well, it feels like summertime, at least like it's more positive, I guess, weather. We are about to like have a bunch of rain, and it did just rain a little bit ago. But
That's what they were saying, and I didn't believe it. But like we've had like 2 good pool days so far this whole year.
absolutely. And I'm just here for it. I'm excited for that. But usually when the sun comes out, I want to be out.
It's hard when you have a business. It's hard when you
It
have 20
is.
bosses.
But if you think about it though, at the same time, like, could you imagine having to be working 9 to 5 when it's beautiful outside? Like, that's like,
Mm-mm.
see, at the same time, like, there is a luxury to it, but like, you have to be able to master it to handle both
Yeah.
summer and business.
And that's what we're going to talk about today, because I think that we should be able to enjoy our summer, because as we've said before, this is why you got into the business, was to like enjoy your time and have time, flexibility, and freedom. And I am getting to the point where I truly believe that if you're getting run over, it's because you're allowing yourself to get run over, and there's ways around it.
You know, do it with the kids too.
Oh yeah, my sister-in-law does that. Like, I don't know what that is.
Clock it.
Oh,
Is that
okay,
what it
yeah, yeah.
means?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Maybe.
I don't know. Could be.
I should know. I should have one. I should ask my kids their, like, what their slang words are nowadays, like most commonly used slang. Though I don't think our listeners are that. So
We might have some younger ones, some
yeah.
younger agents. We are getting listeners from all over, and I'm loving that.
Whoop, whoop.
It's been so fun.
It has been really fun, and I can't wait until, we can just dive into this so much more. We both like shooting the shit, so.
We do like shooting the shit. I am excited. We've kind of already been pre-planning things for next year, even though we're 6 months out, and I'm so excited for that.
I wanted to say that, but like, I wanted to say that, but I was like, oh, I'm not gonna say it. Like, it's too soon to say we've been planning.
No, we've been planning. We've been
No,
planning. I feel like
actually, that's what we need to tell everybody. You should be planning. Like, we're planning for 2027 already, y'all. Like, what are you doing? I'm just kidding. That's so
no pressure.
no pressure. Get your shit together.
But I feel like each year with the podcast, so it's crazy. So next year will be our second full year podcasting. So we're like a year and a half in. No, we're about a year. Yeah, I guess like a year and a half in. And more than that, since like the idea was like born and brought, like the beginning stages. I think that this year we made a lot of like really cool changes to like kick it up a notch. And so like I'm even excited for the next following year. I'm super pumped.
So pumped. Okay.
So pumped.
Before we
Okay.
begin, though, I need to open my Coke.
I was actually just listening to a podcast, and it's the one that has Kayla Fox on it that was on our episode a few episodes ago. One of
Yeah.
my favorite episodes. And they were actually just talking about this, and I didn't realize it until like I was getting in the shower today. And that's when I like started listening to it. I was like, oh my God, this is what we're about to talk about. I know social media is like a big part of our business. At least for me, that's how I get the majority of my leads. I meet the most people because I'm not always out and about. And something that they were talking about was documenting over creating, and how summer is like such a perfect time to like, first of all, we need to keep in mind that people aren't getting on Instagram to look for a real estate agent. They're getting on to like build a community and find the people that they want to follow. And so by documenting what you're doing, where you're going, real estate by the pool or whatever, that's what's gonna, you can do all the stuff that you want to do, and you can still utilize it to grow your business. You just have to think outside the box and do it in a different way.
So I sent you a TikTok, and someone said how essentially that, like, people are buying you to essentially to buy a house. And there's some debate on there. Some people are like, no, I'm picking you as a realtor. I'm not buying you. But one thing, that a comment on there that I thought was pretty cool, which you just said, yes, you do need to go out and like show who you are. There does need to be a fine line because they are selecting you. They're buying a house, not you. But people don't like commercials. So there are realtors that are only conducting their business as such. We literally pay extra for streaming services to not have commercials. People don't like commercials on regular TV. That's why they've gone to streaming service. There's so many things. People don't like commercials. So your business should not be ran, your real estate business and what you put on social media should not be ran like a commercial. It should be personal. But then also, just as like a disclaimer, don't make it so personal where people don't even like you then because they don't see anything business in your personality.
But obviously, if you're in this business, you do have like business in your personality or like professionalism somewhere deep down, in some aspect. I think so, because I don't think that people look, I don't think that people want like a button up suit and tie like person. I don't think
100%.
that at all. But I do think that they do want someone that they trust. So like if you see me only on Instagram and I'm twerking and drinking and taking shots like 24/7, you might be like, "Oh damn, it might be hard for you to see me in that light." Not saying that I don't do that on the weekends or whatever, but it might be harder for you to see me in that light. Like the client, one of the
100%.
clients I just closed, it was so funny because we were cracking up the whole time. We're like, man, that used to be me and her like at the bar, just doing all this crazy shit as like teenagers,
Yeah.
young adults, and now we're like doing a business transaction, and it was just, I felt like I wanted to go make sure that I had like I's dotted and T's crossed, make sure I was a step ahead of the game the whole time, just to be like show myself.
Yeah. And you said you like to batch create with your social media. Just some other ideas people could be batch creating, like if social media is not their first form, like you could be batch creating your mailers, like your designing of that, having them printed ready to go, your pop buys, things like that for your clients, having those printed ready to go. If you do like donut drop off or something like that, you can start making a list of where you need to drop off and things like that. I think that just goes batch creating, just falls right into just being prepared in
Yeah, it
general.
could be taking a picture. Like, it doesn't have to be like, because I've gotten off the handle when it comes to that, but like, it doesn't have to be making videos or making reels. For me personally, people will say like, "Oh, you're so great on video," but like, I only do it when I'm in the mood, and
Yeah.
that's like kind of a curse because it's like if I'm not in the mood, I'm not going to do it. And so
Yeah.
if I'm in the mood, I can knock out like a few. I just have to be in that like creative space. But like you said, you can. There's so other many different things that you can do. Or like, I feel like for women, like our energy levels are different at all different times of the month or the day, but like if you're a lot of people do like cycle syncing and it sounds crazy, but they do it with their
That.
workouts. But like if you
Yep.
do that same thing with your business, I think that would make a huge difference because there's times that like like texting you lists of things like about the pot or about this or all these ideas that I want to do, and that comes like during a certain time of the month. Like you're creative, more creative at a certain time of the month. You're more like
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
executive. Yeah, you'll not get out and get it done at certain times of the month, and some times of the month are just low energy. And like being able to
That's when
like
you recover.
when you recover from all that like go.
Yeah.
But I think that
That's so
working that
crazy.
in would help a lot.
I do too. Maybe we can talk about that on the pod or something, like
Oh, we
what that
should get
actually looks
someone
like.
that like is really really good at it.
Yeah.
Because people do their workouts to it. They're like, we've talked kind of about like a dopamine menu before, but it kind of like falls into that. Like we are responsible for our own joy.
When it's summertime, like what are some things you can be prepared so you can enjoy more of your summer? What do you think?
Well, I think that in theory, like you'll hear agents say like, "Oh, I show houses on X, Y, and Z days," and we've talked about that, and that may or may not work. But I think having like a loose outline to like prepare to be out and about on certain days, like also I think that you can weave being out in the community and doing fun stuff that you like to do into that, like into networking and into like outreach and stuff like that. So you can plan, say Wednesday's my outreach day, so I'm going to go enjoy the weather, put the windows down, grab a coffee, do my pop buys, like get some content. Then I'm going to drop off my pop buys, talking to myself because they're still on my dining table. But like that's something I could do especially if I'm low
Yeah.
energy. Um,
So for me, my issue lies when I'm like being prepared. I do for my position, I have a lot of like presentations I have to do. So like meetings I have to be prepared for, like the Brickbuilt Monday morning meetings. I have to have stuff for that. And then our office meetings, I have to have stuff for that. So like where I lack is actually like preparing those things. So for me, being prepared means I need to put it on my calendar when I need to start working on those. And I have to make sure that it's associated. Like, so if I'm working on that in the morning, like I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on all my presentations in the morning. I want my showings to happen like an hour and a half after that. So I want everything to be so cohesive. And you said it the other day, just making sure that like bundle everything together so you have your afternoon or you have your morning to do whatever. I felt that the other day because like all of my appointments were in the morning and then I had a random 2 o'clock appointment. I'm like, this sucks. Like,
yeah, you can't
I'm
really
done.
start anything. Yeah, you can't really start anything in the
Yeah.
meantime. Also, I think that if you have like your plan, okay, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and get to like look at all my transactions, see where everybody is, see who needs followed up, see who needs communicating, and
Yep.
just like knocking that out. Like if you have like weekly calls with your sellers, make sure that you're ready for that. Like, do you have the feedback and stuff ready? That way, I think it'll take the heaviness off of it. So like Monday morning says like your admin morning, and you're looking at like, okay, what happened? activity did my listing have this week? So I go to talk to them, I'm ready for it. And then that clears up your brain space because I think being prepared for things and having everything like laid out is going to help you relieve like the mental load of it, which in most cases, I think the mental load of the things that you have to do and like the looming to-do list is just as bad as actually doing it.
I think in an ideal world, like I would want to be done with the day and by like 1 o'clock. And so
Hmm.
then I could have all my afternoon. So like if you are going through every client file, making sure that every transaction is up to date, you're taking notes about it, anything that you have to do in the future is written down. Like if you do that, I feel like it's going to take that mental load off so you can enjoy it. And so you know that you're not missing anything. You're not like, oh, did I forget to do that? Oh, did I forget to do that? No, because you took care of it in the morning.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like that's super important. I think also for summertime, setting expectations. Like for me, I used to wake up at 6 o'clock every morning because I get my kids. So then I was starting to work at like by 7:30, I would have my computer in front of me. Now I'm not even waking up until 7:30 because my kids don't have to be up early and I'm not a morning person. So like also setting that expectations, like when summer comes to the people that need you typically, and my schedule will be an hour later than normal.
I think that that's fine though. I think a lot of people don't really expect us to answer until like 8 or 9, and I think that that's like a good time. For me, I like to have slow mornings, so I don't like Eris can wake up and just grab coffee and jump on his computer. I don't like to do that. Like I like to have time to myself to like gather my thoughts, drink my coffee and like but I'm just like a nerd when it comes to that. Like I like to read in the mornings and stuff. Like I like to put myself first in those ways, like go for a walk, whatever,
Yeah.
and then kind of come back at it clear when I have the luxury to do that in the morning. Um so that kinda helps me, like, start at a better thing, but I also don't it's about getting more done in less time, and there's a rule, and it's called, like, the two-minute rule, but if it's gonna take you less than 2 minutes to do it immediately, and
Yeah.
I think that you can look at your list, like, if you're brain dumping the night before or the morning of, and you look at your list and it takes you 2 minutes to do it, you can knock it out. You can do it, because otherwise, you're just gonna keep thinking about it.
Make sure you're keeping a to-do list. Like
Yeah.
easily accessible to-do list. So when you're out and about and you're like, oh crap, I need to do that. Make sure you're able to write it down then and there. That's the one thing I don't love about pen and paper is because you can't have that instant gratification to record keep. So like also have one on your phone too for like that. So, but yes, if
I can
then look at your to-do list every morning. If it takes 2 minutes, get it done. Just
I'm an iPad girl, so, like, I like having my iPad, my computer, and my phone because my to-do list, like, I have them as widgets on there, and
yeah,
so it makes me remember them. You can
I love
see,
that.
um I can show you
Oh
right there.
yeah. Oh,
So then
yeah.
I can just, like, click on it and see what they are,
Yeah. That's such a good idea.
and then I have my actually, I have it on my second page too, just in case. I have it both places because I mean, I'm on this sucker all the time, and it goes
Yeah.
to its own list that's called top priorities, so I know what to do. And I also keep my calendar on my front page too.
I have my calendar on my front page, but I should put my to-do list on the front of my phone. I really freaking should. I have it just on a note in my
And your notes app?
yeah,
I
but I
use
don't
my
use the
reminders app.
I really should do that.
Well, you can do how it whatever works, but you can even put like your note widget up there too. But I've
Of
looked
that
into all
specific
different types of things.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because that's a really good idea.
Well,
Just
you
so
can
it stays
access it
front
from
of mind.
yeah, and you can access it from your phone, your iPad, whatever, and you can even tell Siri to add it to your list of top priorities, and it'll add it right there.
That's so cool. I need to do that. I need to utilize it more. Okay, if it takes 2 minutes, I was still writing that down.
2 minutes or less. And there's a lot of things that I will put off just because, like, the mental starting it when it would only take me 2 minutes is
Yeah.
crazy.
I think that it's also important to find ways that you're going to remember things. Like, I know we were just talking about notes, but like for me, people's texts get lost in the sauce because I'll read it and then I'll forget to unread it. So that's why I'm always like, email it to me so then I can go through my email daily to see what I can quickly check off and take care of.
Okay, so
For
iPhone
me
also,
personally.
yeah, iPhone has this new feature now because I will also, the majority of our communication with agents, clients, whoever, friends, families, all via text. So, like, what I have been doing is like, I will not open it until I'm ready. But like now, and that used to be a problem because they just get pushed down, 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 down. But now you can filter them by unread, and
Oh
that
my
makes
gosh,
my
I
life
know.
so much easier.
Yeah, I would
But
agree.
the worst part is like Instagram and Facebook Messenger DMs, and those people get lost all the time. And I have to tell them, like, if I've given you my number in there and I say, hey, text me because like these messages, like people reply to your story
Yes.
and it just goes down. And like there's just a lot of communications on there. So
Hmm.
those always get lost. So I'm always
I know.
trying to give my number out because it's just gonna be way easier.
Yeah. I don't. I sometimes I don't even get alerted of messages because it gets lost. So
Yeah.
same with Instagram. So I also think that like for summertime to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And I started doing this recently and it just makes me feel more secure that like I'm ready to go if I need to, but I can also like if I'm not needed, like there will be a reminder if I am needed. But I bring my computer everywhere with me because I'm like I need to be ready to go if a situation arises. But like if it doesn't, at least I know I'm prepared because then the whole time, like I'm out enjoying myself. I'm like, oh shit, if this person reaches out and needs an emergency, I don't even have my computer here. And now I'm nervous trying to figure out a way that I'm going to make something happen if I don't, if, without being fully prepared. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
So you just carry your computer everywhere? I do too, though. It's always in my bag.
Yeah. Like you always should have it with you. And it's not necessarily that you need to use it. And yes, like you can have it, silenced or whatever. But if you all of a sudden get a text or someone's like, SOS, like basement's flooded or just had my inspection and there's water, you gotta be ready to go. Like you gotta, sometimes you have to move. This job does create some sense of urgency. So I think for the summer to enjoy yourself, just make sure you're always ready to go, locked and loaded and prepared. And then you're going to be able to enjoy your time because you know that you're
You're
ready.
done. The quote that just came to mind when you said that was the one that's like, be so certain of yourself that you know that you acted okay, I'm butchering the quote,
Yeah.
but basically like that nothing can shake you because you know that you did everything you needed to do. So just be that person.
Yeah.
No pressure. When you
And
have
you
taken
can't
a
really procrastinate.
yeah, I'm bad at that.
Me too. I've lately.
Lately, mostly with my Popeyes, like they're still I bought them months ago and they're assembled and they're ready. And I have the list of people that are getting them this round, but like mapping it out and getting in the car and dropping them off is really, really killing me.
Hmm.
It makes me just want to throw them away and not have to not have it lingering on my list anymore.
That's so crazy. So something that's been lingering over my head is so last year I did a mailer campaign for an elementary school district that I want to farm. And today as I'm like trying to hurry up and finish them up. And I'm just like, because I had to redo them a little bit this year. I had so much extra from last year that I reused them for this year. And as I'm going through it, I'm like, you know what? I don't think that this is going to hit the way I think it's going to hit because the people that move out of this school district are people that are leaving the school district. Their kids are gone. They have no ties to this school district anymore, like, or this elementary school. So I threw them away because I'm like, this isn't going to work. And I'm not going to sit here and spend another 5 hours stuffing over 600 freaking envelopes and labeling them and stamping them and doing all this shit because I don't think it's going to pay off anymore. I think my last year marketing tactic is not going to work this year. And I had wasted a shit ton of money.
It's funny that you say that though, because honestly, if there's something that keeps getting pushed and keeps getting pushed, like I had on my list at the beginning of the year when our accountability group was like, okay, every single week I want to do 2 CMA boxes to my people. And I kept pushing that off and pushing that off. And finally it got to a point where I was like, okay, by me not doing it, is my business still growing in the way that I want it to grow? Yes. If so, like, why am I putting so much stress on it? And
Yeah.
if it's not going to do what I think it's going to do, that or what I thought it was going to do, then why am I going to keep carrying it over? Like if you're visually seeing it on your list and you keep not doing it, what's the reason? Is it a time thing? Is it just that you have different things to do, like your priorities have shifted? And I think it's okay to like reevaluate your priorities and figure out what it is that is important to you at this season.
And also, like, yeah, I also think you just saying all of that reminded me of what my goals were for the first of the year. And I know we have an episode we're going to talk about that, but
Oh yeah.
one of them was like, make sure that you're watering who waters you and a lot, and like what your sphere of influence or what your business was last year, main source of your business last year. Make sure that like, my goal this year was to make sure that I was nurturing the things that fed me the most business. I needed to make sure that I nurtured, and I haven't. I've slacked the last 2 months because Popeyes as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's because full disclosure is because my kid offered to do them and then he worked it, got a different job and he no longer works for me, which is annoying.
So what comes to my mind when we're saying this is like, if it's the delivery aspect that's like making us not want to do it, right?
Hmm.
Because that's going to take up so much time, honestly, like what, 5, 6, 7 hours of like driving around, getting out, like putting them in there. I don't know. It seems heavy for me.
I
But
agree.
but is there a way that you can do it to where maybe like there's a website that I've heard about called Mailbox Power, and I don't know the prices on things, but like you can customize little gifts that will get sent out to your people. So like that might be something worth looking into, and it can still be creative and it can still be really nice, but maybe you don't have to do it so you're still hitting the same goal, doing the same thing but
Yeah.
in a different way. that's
Yeah.
actually going to get done.
That's actually a really good idea.
Also, like, even for just touches, like, if you're staying up on your birthday cards and things like that, like, at the
I
beginning
don't
of the
do birthday
month,
cards, so
well, my people really, really like them. Like, you'd be
I know.
surprised. And it's such I got a box of 100 from Amazon that I go through like crazy, but then I have, like, another I bought, like, a variety box. And then I
Yeah.
bought, like, baby shower ones, like, just things for different events. You'd be surprised, like, how many people are, like, taking pictures or, like, snapping me and saying, like, "Oh, thank you so much for my card."
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's doing its thing, like, I'm still checking in on my people, I'm still loving on my people. You can get the $2 scratch offs or whatever and put them in there, but I'm not having to physically take my time and go deliver them.
Right. Yeah.
And so I try to do that, and that I have been pretty consistent with at the beginning of the month. So, like, it's June, I probably need to do my Junes because I did April and May's, like, all at the same time. So this time I'll probably sit down and write out all of June and July's, and that's something I can do while I'm
Interesting. Good idea. Good idea. Just wrote all of that down.
I'm glad I can provide with you some value.
Of you always provide value. I also think to stay ready for summer and prepared is making sure that you're setting expectations with your clients and
Mhm.
not making sure that you're running your business. They're not running you. Like, yes, they are what feeds our business, but like we also have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves as well too and enjoying ourselves and having family time. The kids are out usually for school or out of school for the summer. So being able to enjoy that time with them and things like that. So like for me, my setting my expectations, like I will not be texting my clients at 7:30 anymore. Like I'll be reaching out about 8:30. My start time is probably going to be like 9:30 instead of 9.
Mhm.
So everything's going to kind of just be pushed back. So whatever that looks like for you, or if you know that you're going out of town because you're going on voting day, making sure that you let your clients know and have coverage. Erica said
Mhm.
this yesterday or Wednesday when we were talking about this, like making sure that you have coverage ready to go if you're busy, have an agent that is able to show houses for you.
Yeah, or at least, yeah, handle your communications if you're not going to be available. And I feel like for the most part, we have had some clients that like will not speak with anyone else, which is a little stupid, or like will not want to go see a house with someone else. But like for the most part, people are cool with that.
Are you talking about me like that?
No, why?
That's my client that will not let anybody else show him houses
Oh, really?
because he wants my opinion. And Danielle showed him a house and he was like, I would want Paige to see it before I make an offer. And I'm like,
Then what was the point? You should have just waited for a time I could go and see it.
I was in St. Bart's. I wasn't coming back for days.
But also another thing I think about is like how easy is it to have like your stuff outside, like just enjoy outside. That's a big one for me. So like even I can take my laptop by the pool and sit out there or have all my stuff. Like you can answer your phone out there. You can do all the things, but even in those little pockets of time, even if you only have like 30, 40 minutes, you can go and enjoy the sun. And I think
Hmm.
it's about just like finding joy in all the little spots that you can. And for me, that's like out on the deck in the sun. And I can still do stuff from there.
And you perform better when you feel better. So, like,
Mhm.
if you are taking those moments to touch grass and be in nature and be in the sun and get natural vitamin D instead of the supplements I have to take a bajillion of every day, you're just going to perform better because you're gonna want to be better because you feel
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
You're
you
just
feel
like, let's
better.
go tackle the world.
You feel like your best self.
Yep, yep. What else?
What else? What else? Oh, well, I have that too. Like things don't always have to feel heavy. And I was thinking about that when I was just going out of town for surgery. And I was like, it was like kind of a hassle because we had like appointments and stuff during the day. We had to leave to India that afternoon.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, I still have to do this buyer inspection response. And that's one of those things that like doesn't take that long. But for me in my head at the moment, it felt so like, how am I ever going to get this done? But that's what I was telling myself, like, it doesn't have to feel heavy. It's literally gonna take me maybe 10 minutes to do and have it ready. And, like, if you put all that weight on things, they're gonna feel heavy, but if you just, like, take the weight out of them, it's easier said than done, but just thinking about it from the perspective of, like, okay, realistically, how long is this gonna take me? How much effort is it really gonna take me? It's likely not as much as you think.
I noticed that myself the other day when I was going through my unread emails, and I was like, icky. Like,
Or
this would have taken me 5 seconds, and it's been sitting there for a month. Like,
I had that
I'm so
realization
dumb.
today too, actually, because I was like, the title company needs like a copy of the earnest money, this, and this. And I was just looking at it. I'm like, that's been in there for like a week and I have not gotten it to them. And for what reason? It took me like 5 seconds, but it just felt like a lot at the moment.
If your processor or if your TC was CC'd on that, your TC would have seen that request and would have sent it on your behalf.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why you should always have Leona CC'd on everything.
Okay, that's something that I'm actually learning too. And that's something that Eris and I were both talking about is utilizing your resources and that taking so much off of your plate. So I'm going to put all my faith in her and like utilize that resource because those are tasks I don't want to do. So that makes me think like just working smarter, not harder. Like take the 3 seconds to upload all the contact information into zip form so that way your TC can respond with the information that you have. Yeah, you're right. That's a great idea, Erica. It's something that I've been thinking about. I'm not going to lie. Eris is in here and he can answer for me, but I've been thinking about that and just taking the pressure off. So when I was sitting in CE, the speaker was just making everything like even big, heavy topics about like sitting in court, being in lawsuits. Like something that I took away from it was his demeanor and his very much like it's black and it's white. Like it doesn't have to be that complicated. And I think that if you go into like real estate thinking that like, okay, I'm not in this situation. My client wants to say this. Okay, that this agent said that, or this client said this. Okay, this is what they said. Like you're the middleman. But other than that, you don't have to put your heart. No, no, no. That's not what I mean. But we talked about like riding the roller coaster. I'm trying to say this how I
I
mean
get what
it.
you're
I'm trying
saying.
to say it how I mean it. Like taking again, just taking the weight out of things.
It's not
Right.
happening to us.
Right.
It's
Right.
like this is not like I get what you're saying, like empathy almost, but not letting it be like kind of like a therapist. Like you can't absorb
Yes.
their
You need,
emotions.
yes, that you need to have resilience. You need to be able to,
Yes.
you have to stay level headed. But like everything that he was talking about, even though it came down to like, I've had to sit on the stand a few times, he was saying and do like these cases or whatever. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, and yeah, my agent was in big trouble. I had to get him out of it. I had to sit there but it's like, that's all it is. But like in that moment, I was thinking to myself, if that was me, how much I would be consumed by that. And it
Mm-hmm.
just it almost made me disgusted with myself. And it made me realize that my life it gets hard when I make it hard, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And it's my
Same.
brain. And that's it.
So tell
So
your brain to stop running into people at the store.
that's last episode.
Bringing up old shit.
Yeah, you're bringing up old shit.
My brother tells me that all the time. So does my husband. All right. Well, I have a 2:00 meeting, so I gotta go.
Well, that was a really good one. I just say overall, enjoy your summer, spend time outside. To
Touch
recap,
grass.
touch grass, document your life, document your stories, do the things that you love to do, and make it a part of your
Be
brand.
prepared. Be
That
prepared
too.
and
Take
stay
your
on top of your
computer.
business.
Take your computer everywhere.
And extra chargers.
And communication is key.
All right.
All right.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Agents After Hours Podcast for more behind the scenes, chaos, real estate talk, and unfiltered conversations.
And if you're a real estate agent looking to grow your business, you can code After Hours for $100 off at Hustle Humbly Podcast and for a discount at Modern Agent Social Club.
And you can also shop some of our favorite items at our Amazon storefront. It's under Agents After Hours.
Awesome. We'll be updating
Bye. See you
those
next time.
frequently. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.